Hello everybody, Glitch Reaper here. I'm back at the ocean arena, actually. So yeah, I'm here for another aquatic mob battle, not a land one. There were developments that happened faster than I expected for getting another aquatic mob battle set up, and you'll be pleasantly surprised which this is. So I think I'm gonna head into it and just go for it. So hence the reason why I'm dual wielding spawn eggs is just the fact that I'm going, yeah, this is one of those things where you just want to kind of go into it. And yeah, I'm gonna start off with Sea Serpent again because I mean Ice and Fire Sea Serpents are pretty cool. Uh, so I might as well. And it's not just that, it's the fact I really wanted to find new opponents for them, and now I have, and it's going to be interesting where they even come from. So, special announcement as to how this works. Oh, we got a 100 HP Sea Serpent here. Impressive, impressive. But you're going up against something from the ancient past, so we'll see how well this works out for you. It's time to meet something from Fossils and Archaeology Revival, which is now in 1.12.2. Yay! Here we have Sarcosuchus, which occasionally breaks blocks. Yeah, that was a tie. They basically finished each other off at the last possible moment, so Sarcosuchus is equal to Sea Serpent. I mean, what would you even think about that normally? It's just wow. So we have an interesting tie, and yes, that happened while I was trying to just see if they'd fight and, you know, test out in general if I could get this to work. So I do happen to know that that is what happened before. So, yeah. And because they break blocks, I may have to do repairs periodically. So bear with me on that one. But yeah, Sea Serpent and Sarcosuchus just annihilate each other. So if you want to try out with a gigantic crocodile versus Sea Serpent, they're about even. So let's go on to the next one, starting with another random Sea Serpent. This one is 44. I don't know. I might re-roll that one. I think I'll re-roll this Sea Serpent. If wow, that was a perfect one-shot. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna re-roll this Sea Serpent, so that's more like it. That's more like it. That's at least pretty close. Because I'd like it to meet the Megalodon. So here we come with the original Ultimate Shark. Oh, beam attack. That's holding it at bay. Oh, it's biting into it. It's smashing through the wall. Oh, they defeated each other at the last moment again. Oh my gosh. In testing, let me say that the Megalodon won completely. So that tie was a surprise. So thanks for that. Apparently, if it does its death bite at the exact right time, then it becomes a tie. So yeah, don't. I can't always rely on my initial figures, which is actually pretty cool, actually, because an unexpected result is always fun. So Megalodon ties with Sea Serpent. I don't know how often that'll happen, but I know it's at least 50-50 because it happened last time. It did. So wow. Megalodon ties with Sea Serpent as well. So color me surprised. If there's a color for surprise, whatever it is, that's me right now. Probably some sort of variation of yellow from all those caution signs you see. So maybe big lightning yellow exclamation mark above my head right about now. Cue that in, Metal Gear Solid. Okay. So Megalodon ties with Sea Serpent. That was impressive. Of course, if it had a lot more HP, it might still have taken massive damage at least, because that thing has one serious bite. Oh my gosh, Megalodon. You are awesome. And so we're going with the next one, which will be the Mosasaurus. So let's first figure out a decent Sea Serpent. maybe that'll do, but I think I can do a little better. I'd like one with about 70 HP-ish. No, it's just a little bit more than that, please. That's probably about right. And very purple. Okay, so a royal purple one versus Mosasaurus. Oh, started off with a beam. Got bit. Got annihilated. That was fast. Oh my gosh, Mosasaurus, you are still one of the most dangerous ever. Okay, I'm just gonna throw in another one just to see if that happens quickly again. Certainly knows how to get it mad. Or at least how to hold it off. But that beam won't last forever. I guess it depends on their tactics. Because if this one just keeps up the beam, I don't think he's going to be able to move. Of course, that one is a little worn out from last time. Yeah, this one got revenge for the other one. But yeah, Mosasaurus can actually take down Sea Serpents and apparently vice versa. So, but it seems to depend on the setup. If it keeps its range and does not enter melee, I guess it doesn't even technically aggro it. I think the beam doesn't count as an attack, actually. I think it somehow manages to make it like an environmental attack or something. So I've seen other things not react to it before, and they only react whenever they get into melee. So I think that's what's actually happening here, is that it only counts it whenever it's a melee attack. So that's interesting to think about. Otherwise, they are both very aggressive, so you could tell they go at it pretty quickly. So Mosasaurus won, and then the other one took revenge from just lounging around, firing its bubble beam. So that happened. So next up will be the Liopleurodon. This is one of the other classic apexes of the ancient seas. So we'll see how this goes too, because we're getting some interesting dinos in here. So Sea Serpent. Let's see if we can get one. Oh my gosh, that might be a little much. That might be a little much. This is like Elder Uber Sea Serpent. I don't think I want to consider the stats of this one to be accurate. Because this is like boss, like super boss mode version. This is like, oh my gosh. I'm not entirely sure if the size of them also gives you like more drops, but I think so. So if you were fighting this, it would be boss mode. Like total boss mode, like, okay, let's just get lots and lots of stuff for one this enormous. But that is one thing about Ice and Fire, is its drop scale with the intensity of the enemy. So a really big dragon will give you more stuff, and so will apparently a really big sea serpent. So that is something to think of. You would get more stuff for the challenge, but you would have to face something that is probably more dangerous than a crocodile. So let's see what the next one's stats are. See, that's about right. That's about right. This variability thing has its ups and downs when trying to actually do mob battles with it. Because Liopleurodon, it does have a max set of about 45. Oh, wow. They cancel each other again. I am before the Sea Serpent won against Liopleurodon in testing, like completely. Now it tied because it also has like a big finish move, kind of like how the crocodilians have a death roll. So it did this big bite right at the time it was dying, so they finished each other off. So again, we're having ties. This may actually be the mob battle I've had the most ties in ever. Like, seriously, go back and compare with anyone that's ever had a tie. I'm kind of curious. Have I ever had more ties than this? That's a valid question. It also means I don't have to reset the field as much because it's already reset. Again, not really sure if I want one that small. I'm going for a size range here. Well, that was random. That was also very random. Okay, so let's try for another one and see if I can get some comparable stats. There we go. I don't think 95 is too much. I think that's actually decently accurate. Because the next one's going to be a Spinosaurus. Although, admittedly, I don't know if they're anywhere near as big as they technically should be, because they're supposed to scale with real-life dinos. And I think this one is a little too small. So I think they need to upgrade the size of the Spino. And yes, they actually, and why I'm putting this one in here is they found out they actually specialized in being aquatic. They swam a lot. They weren't really designed to be on the land for good periods of time. It was just mainly them walking to another lake to prey on. So yeah, and they have reflected that in fossils and archaeology now. So Spinosaurus do properly swim. So yes, we have another aquatic dino as a last shot. So let's go with Spinosaurus. 86 and can smash blocks. And apparently just nuked, and I mean just nuked, that sea serpent. So that was definitely a death shake, which happens really fast. It's not quite death roll, it's death shake. Like it just takes it in its mouth and rapidly goes bzzz, and just vibrates it to death. So yeah, in fact, and now it's being carted off by a Skylus, never to be seen again. Bye, Spinosaurus. You were a great contender. I'll just casually fix my arena and try to just think about what just happened, because the mighty Spinosaurus that had just annihilated a sea serpent in one attack was just carried off endlessly by basically a somewhat oversized Nautilus. That's basically what just happened here. Although admittedly it's very appropriate because Nautilus are living fossils and they have a version thereof here in Fossils and Archaeology. But that was a Skylus from Lycanized Mobs, which is basically a bigger, angrier Nautilus. And it just carried that Spino off. And I don't know if it just finished off, but it could have, because I don't know if that Spino was thinking of fighting back. I think it was just dragged off to its very slow and gradual death. So something that can... I mean, that's just kind of insane. So, something that defeated a sea serpent was just grabbed by this little cephalopod here and just taken away to die. That was just what just happened. I'm still wrapping my head around that one, but it happened. You saw that happen. It just went off into the frontier. It's like, I'm just gonna drag you off into the sunset. Bye. So that all just happened. Okay, and that was happened pretty brief span of time. Oh my gosh, that all went by so fast. But yeah, another aquatic mob battle here to have new challengers for the sea serpent. Some of them won, some of them tied, like several. That was actually like probably the majority result this time. I'm very surprised about that. That was awesome. Just last minute quunk. It's like, okay, let's just finish each other right in now. And there are a few times where the sea serpent outright lost. Sometimes it had pretty good domination, although admittedly, again in testing, was a little bit more either way with the Liopleurodon apparently. But still, oh my gosh, these dinos can in fact seriously fight sea serpents, if not win over them. So that is awesome. I mean, they were really showing that, hey, don't disrespect the dinos. So yeah, sea serpents got wrecked. And after so much intensity before, I mean, goodness sakes, they could take on Corrales from Advent of Ascension, and he's like a massive sea boss. Well, not massive, but he's a powerful sea boss. So yeah, that all just went down. That was awesome. And I will be coming up with more mob battles, and yes, there will be some interesting ideas popped around. Maybe not all will wind up being aquatic, but let's face it, this is going to be kind of a rarely used arena, but it will happen. But just think about that in the future, is what may also be able to challenge sea serpents and vice versa. But for now, I'll be leaving off. So just think about that. And so bye for now, everybody. Hope to hear from you all later. And remember, mob battles are still here. Yes!